Regarding the punch that Terri Hooley delivered to John Lennon, she stated, "He was stoned, so it wasn't my proudest moment." It has been brought to Terri Hooley's attention that he does not consider the moment when he punched John Lennon to be my proudest moment. Terri Hooley, a prominent figure in the punk movement in Belfast, recently gave an interview to The Guardian in which he reflected on some of the most significant events that had occurred in his life. Among these was his difficult encounter with the legendary member of the Beatles. The veteran of the music industry described how the encounter took place around the year 1970 during the debate, which was conducted to assist in the promotion of Stuart Bailey's new biography Terri Hooley, 75 Revolutions. The musician mistook Hooley for a supporter of the Irish Republican Army, IRA, in his pre-pacifist days and offered to supply him with weapons. Lennon was introduced to Hooley in London by friends of Ounce magazine. Hooley's decision to punch the former Beatle was a result of the mistake, and he has stated that he is not proud of the action he took. His upbringing in Belfast's tumultuous times and strong political outlook led to Hooley addressing Bob Dylan about his refusal to stop paying taxes in order to protest the Vietnam War. This was the response to the misunderstanding that occurred as a result of Hooley's upbringing. By creating a number of counterculture periodicals and pirate radio stations during times of violence, Hooley was able to establish Belfast as a centre for music, which contributed to his significance in the business. By 1977, he became famous for transforming a structure that had been abandoned into a record store that was called Good Vibrations. The store was located on the most bombed half-mile in Europe. An attempted kidnapping made him more motivated to advocate for non-sectarianism, and the popularity of the shop led to his being a champion of local punk artists. However, the motivation to build the business came after the kidnapping attempt. In following years, he established a punk label with the same name, and he continued to be active in the scene until 2015, when he was forced to close his last record store because to his poor health decisions. During times when everything was going wrong, there was a small haven of positivity that was known as Good Vibrations. Hooley shared his thoughts with the outlet during the time when our nation was experiencing a collective nervous breakdown. In addition, the Broadway musical Good Vibrations and the BBC documentary series Once Upon a Time in Northern Ireland were both based on him as a result of his significance in the music scene in Belfast. In related John Lennon news, a new documentary named John Lennon, Murder Without a Trial was released on Apple TV a month ago. The program provides an in-depth analysis of the murder that occurred in 1980 where John Lennon was arrested. In addition to featuring unique interviews with eyewitnesses and photographs of crime scenes that had not been seen before, the documentary series consisted of 3 parts and was narrated by Kiefer Sutherland, who had won an Emmy Award. Mark David Chapman, who admitted to killing John Lennon, was the subject of this investigation as well as the subsequent conviction.